Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everybody. I am with Alisa Ploko today for the first LinkedIn Live conversation of the year. Today we will talk about our personal stories, but also about personal branding on LinkedIn in personal branding in general. But very first now, I think we are live since about a minute. I just want to be sure that people can hear me or can see me, and that I'm not talking to a wall. So if you hear or see us, you can please leave a comment.
Okay. I don't think I can share this.
So I just think that we are. Do you yourself on your end see my post?
If I go to your LinkedIn profile, I don't really. Let me see on notifications. Sure.
Okay. No, but there is Nadia Samsudin who sees.
Oh, okay.
That's
Nadia.
Okay. So good. So we are. I'm sure that now we are live and that some people can see us.
Oh, hello, Nadia. I'm really glad she's there.
Yes, and thank you because she's saying
it's really great connection of mine, and I appreciate her.
Indeed. I think she's from South Africa. Yes, as she said. Yeah. In Cape Town. She's in Cape Town in South Africa, and it's midnight there at the moment. So
yes.
So great. So maybe Alisa, we can just start by, because you post on LinkedIn since you will talk about this. You post some very good content on LinkedIn. So the way I got to know you is just by noticing the post that you did, and it was mostly post in which you were explaining some functionalities that we can do on LinkedIn. So very often I was like, okay, if I watch what she writes, I will learn something new, and I will be able to use it for me. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only person that has experienced that. But maybe you can start by sharing before how you came to start posting content or be active on LinkedIn, basically.
Yes, sure. Thank you, and thank you for inviting me to this event. I appreciate you, and I appreciate this invitation. Yes, I believe we got connected maybe even 2 years ago or something like that, but for sure over 1 year. And I remember you engaging on my post, and I was engaging on your post as well. Engagement on LinkedIn from the side of LinkedIn community is really very important, and it's important for the increasement of the visibility of our posts. And as I guess almost everybody knows now that there is the highest organic reach on LinkedIn. And that's one of the major reasons why I encourage others to start creating content on LinkedIn as well. So let me get back to your question, how I started on LinkedIn. So it was, like most of us, I was on LinkedIn for over 10 years or even 14 years or something like that. Before I started to get really engaged, seriously engaged on LinkedIn. And just like anybody else, I was having my profile there, which was more looking like a CV, with my experience, but I was not really paying a lot of attention to it, since at that time LinkedIn was mainly a job search platform. It is still a job search platform, but it is much more nowadays. It is a #1 global networking event, I would say, which is 24/7 open, and it's global. It's amazing. Yeah, it has changed a lot in the last, let's say, 5 years. So, but I have realized that 2 years ago, when I started my own company, Your Mentor, And at that time, I was consulting small businesses about their digital marketing strategies. As I had just established my company as a marketeer, I knew that as my first step should be building brand awareness. But as any other small business owner, especially solopreneur, without any other employees, like most of the consultants are, who have the home-based businesses and online businesses now, they have a limited budget, and I was having a limited budget as well, and I was looking for the ways to market my company organically. And as being a service provider, I knew that in order to, it's more relevant to market myself or to build my own personal brand. In other words, recognizability in the market and visibility, to increase the visibility at all. So I was aware that I need to devote myself in building my own personal brand, because at the end of the day, people buy from people, people don't buy from the companies. And when it comes to entrepreneurs and small business owners, startup owners, especially consultants, so when I say consultants, I mean service-oriented professionals, those who are providing services, not products. Indeed, LinkedIn is and should be #1 social media platform for them. So at that time, I was advising small businesses which social media platform to use and what should be their digital marketing strategy in general. And it always starts with the buyer, with the customer. So the first step is to know who your customer is, and then whether you are providing services or products, choose the right social media platform for yourself. But if you are a service-oriented professional, definitely your social media platform, #1, should be LinkedIn. So LinkedIn has changed dramatically, and it's really amazing how it has changed positively in terms of the organic reach, and it is now the best social media platform for service-oriented professionals and for basically building their personal brand. So why personal branding matters? As I already mentioned, it matters because it's closely related to the sales as well, because we all live from selling our services. And in order to sell in today's highly competitive online market, digital market, it's really crucial to differentiate yourself. And the best differentiation is by building your personal brand, because people will buy from you because of you, not because your company is called this or that, and because you have created a company page on LinkedIn and you wrote in the About section, oh, my company is providing management consultancy services to this category of companies or individuals. Even if you do that and if you start like that, they will go to the part of the company page where it says people, and they will search for the owner of the company, and then they will do their search in any case. So when it comes to the search as well, whether it's your potential business partner, or whether it's your client, or if you are a job seeker, the #1 search engine for business professionals is also LinkedIn. So companies or recruiters, prior recruiting the candidate, they would even go first on LinkedIn before they go on Google. And some of the companies are even putting that as a kind of precondition. If the candidate doesn't have a LinkedIn profile, basically that candidate is eliminated from the hiring process. So that speaks a lot of the relevancy of being present on LinkedIn.
Yeah, so it means it has become way more important than just the CV. It can be just, as you said, like a starting condition even to hire or to have an interview with a potential candidate for a job. So that is very critical. But you said something important, because you yourself are helping companies in their digital marketing strategy. So here you were talking about your own strategy, because your clients are on LinkedIn. But have you tried, because you said it's service-oriented consultants, service-oriented companies, for them it's better to be on LinkedIn. Have you tried other social media before LinkedIn, such as I'm thinking of Facebook, basically Facebook or Instagram or Pinterest?
Yes.
Hello, Simon, and thank you, Nadia.
Okay. I cannot see that, but yeah, I can hear you. Anyway, I'm welcoming everybody. I'm glad there are people watching. Anyways, I was from the very beginning, I was aware, I knew what my number one social media platform should be. Mm-hmm. Because I know who my customers are, and my customers are on LinkedIn. And so based on the services that I'm providing, and based on the reach that I can have, the organic reach on LinkedIn, and taking into consideration that it is a business platform, there was no doubt. I knew that from the very beginning that LinkedIn is my platform. However, I am very much aware that building a personal brand, and especially for the persons, and building a brand for startups and new companies, it requires overall online presence, because the main issue is credibility. Yes. The credibility. But LinkedIn is perfect for providing credibility to new businesses and new consultants. It's really perfect. However, it's good. I always advise that to have overall online visibility, and to have like at least 2-3 other social media. In general, to have, let's say, 3 social media channels, social media platforms. So just because you want to be present there, so when your clients are searching for your name, for the name of your company, they see that, for example, they land on your Instagram profile or your Facebook business page or your Google My Business account, and they see that by your posts. They see that, this social media account exists for 2 years now, or for 1 year now. So it's different when they see that you have posted something on this channel 1 year ago, 5 years ago, or when you posted yesterday. Mm-hmm. You don't have credibility.
Yeah. And even with what you said, maybe even for some people that use maybe Sales Navigator, you can see when people have posted recently or they haven't posted since a long time. I think that there is something also when we compare personal brand versus company brand. I have that, maybe I'm wrong, but I have that feeling that for a company, it's usually for a company, they have to start with the product or the service that they offer. So you give the name of the company, and then you say, I provide accounting services. But if you are an accountant, for example, and it's your personal brand that you develop, you can show that you are a dad, you also like skiing, you also like traveling, you also, so it looks like personal brand is also much more it looks like much more flexible, but maybe company brands also are trying to become like personal brands, I don't know.
So if they are providing products, that's different. But if they are providing services, and we all know that it's much more difficult to sell services than products because products are tangible. So I was, during my career, I was working in the field of real estate as well. And I was selling properties for one the luxury development company from Dubai. And it was intangible. It was something that is going to be constructed in 4 years from now. And we were selling in a very, very challenging way of selling, like selling to the 1% of the country's population, and selling in the way that we sold most of the properties in the pre-launch period within 3 days. And we saw that in the way that we invited our clients to our offices, and then they, during this 3-day pre-launch period, and then they signed a reservation form and pay on the spot 25% of the total property value. So you know, it's like selling services as well, because you know this doesn't exist. They cannot see it. It's something that they cannot see. They will see that after it's being constructed, and also they will see what's the result of the service after they try the service. So that's why it's more challenging. But when you have a product, then you know you can touch the product, you can see how big or how, you know, it's much different. So that's why credibility is really crucial. And at this time, especially because, first of all, online world is too crowded. It's like you will see consultants, coaches everywhere, like too crowded, and everybody's online now. So you need to stand out, and the best way to stand out from the rest of the people and service providers is by your personal brand, because everything else can be copied or pasted, but your own personal story and your own personal brand cannot be copied. So this is the best way, to stand out and to embrace who you really are and to be authentic. So somebody will like you, somebody will not, but you should put yourself out there anyway.
Yeah, and that's a good, what you say, it's a good segue with the other subject I would like to approach. It's a little bit our stories, because we are both now living in North America, but we do have links with other continents. And I know that right now, Nadia is watching from South Africa. And when you were talking about real estate, I think you were also doing it in Africa, but on the other side of the continent. So
so it was North Africa.
So it would be good to share that a bit, because there is also the story of Alisa before you started on LinkedIn. You have links with Europe and Africa.
Yes. Something happened with the sound, but I think it will be okay.
I hear you.
Yeah, so actually, yes, I was living on 3 continents. I am Bosnian by origin. I was born and raised and lived in Sarajevo, the capital of Bosnia. But I also lived on 3 continents. I lived in Europe, obviously. And most of my travel, I traveled a lot during my life. It was in European countries, different European countries, many European countries. And but I lived in Northern Africa. I lived in Egypt for 3 years, where I was working in the field of real estate, what I've just mentioned now. And I'm now living in North America. I live in Louisville, in Kentucky. Yes.
Excellent. And inside Europe, because Bosnia is, for people who don't know, is ex-Yugoslavia. Inside Europe, I was, for personally, I am born and raised in Europe, in Belgium, and for people who don't know, maybe Belgium is a very tiny country. Like you drive it by car, you drive the whole country in 2 hours. It's like about 200 kilometers. So obviously, when you're in Europe, it's a lot of several small countries. So we are bound to kind of work or have opportunities in several countries. So when I was in Belgium, I was actually working in Belgium, but actually also in Germany, in the Netherlands, or in England. It was pretty often actually. So that's the thing. That's the kind of charm that there is with Europe. And then you did real estate in Africa, and then you came in North America. Do you think of I'm not saying right now or next year, but do you think of maybe coming back someday in Europe or?
No, actually, I am married here, so I have a small family, my husband and my son, and I'm happy. What's really important that I'm with these two persons. Unfortunately, my father died last year. I still have a mother in Bosnia, but I would definitely love to visit as soon as possible. But all this COVID situation is like stopping us for now. And the state that I'm living right now, Kentucky, is kind of the size of Bosnia as well. And yes, and it has a lot of natural parks, and I am a person who loves outdoor activities. I'm a passionate cyclist, and I simply love and enjoy spending time in nature. And so it's good. I like it. I like the fact that it has a lot of natural parks and a lot of places where I can ride a bike during the summer.
Okay, yeah. For me, it's more. So my roots are in Burundi, in East Africa, which is a tiny country close to Rwanda. But I'm born and raised in Brussels, in Belgium, and Brussels is the density of population is very big. There are a lot of, I don't know the number, but there are a lot of people. Even in Belgium in general, the density of population is pretty big. I think it was like more than 11 million people living in Belgium, but in a country that you drive through 200 kilometers. Canada, for example, is another extreme. It's like I don't know, it's between 35 and 40 million people in the whole country.
I wanted to ask you about that. Yes, tell us a little bit more about your journey.
Yes, so basically it's more my parents that they grew up in Burundi. Then they had to leave the country for safety reasons, unfortunately. They came to Belgium. So actually Belgium was colonizing Burundi, so that's where there are some relationship between both countries, and that's where they had all their children. And I am one of them. So I'm the number 3. I have 2 sisters and 1 brother, and I'm the second boy. And in Belgium, honestly, I had I had a kind of cool life, but it's like middle class, but the middle class that is a bit precarious. Like you should not have one catastrophe should not happen, otherwise you might be really in trouble. But it was okay. And I was also started to, after I did my study, so I wanted to study, initially I only wanted to learn languages. I was thinking, oh, maybe I will do translation. But then I was like, yeah, but only knowing languages is not a skill. So I said, okay, you should learn business. And I did international business just because I wanted to travel a bit everywhere, all over the world. And I wanted to become a salesperson all over the world.
Okay.
So I did a degree in international trade. And after that degree, I could not really travel during the degree. So I did an internship in India after my degree, because I did it all in French. And I had some vocabulary in English, but I was not fluent in it. So I wanted to be I initially thought about England actually, which is just nearby Belgium, but there was an opportunity to make an internship in India, and I said, okay, maybe that's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I will just go in India for a few months and then come back. And it was great experience. Totally, talking density of population in Belgium, but the density of population in India is something else as well. It was big. I was in New Delhi. It was in New Delhi. It was an amazing experience. And then I started because I'm talking here on LinkedIn. If I post content, I post a lot about either podcasting or consulting. I actually started in consulting completely random because I wanted to just be a international salesperson. So it was just traveling, selling and traveling. I had no product or service in my mind in particular. And when I came back to Belgium, I applied for working at IBM, and I was thinking that they have they have a sales school, and I was thinking that I had applied for that. But I didn't. I came to it's a whole day in which that was organized to hire young graduates from school. So there were a lot of people. We started at about 30 people during the day. We ended up being 5 or 6. And in the morning when I arrived, I thought it was for becoming a salesperson, but they said, "Oh, we are hiring consultants." And I'm like, what is a consultant? Okay. and then during the morning, there were different groups that we were divided in different groups. So there were 30 people, approximately 30 people. We were divided in 6 or 7 different groups. I was in a group of 4 people, and we were in a room, and we had a case study. So they give you a situation with a company, and there are 3 options about the solution, and you have to think about what is the best solution or the best alternative. So they look at how you think or how you communicate or how you behave, etc. Yes. So then they, I don't know if you see, how can I say that, the reality TV shows in which you, I don't know what there are 10 people and they say you have to eliminate this person, you have to eliminate this person, this person.
Oh, okay.
And it was you know, the candidate don't eliminate the other, of course, but it's more at noon, everybody was receiving an envelope saying whether or not you will continue the hiring process.
Oh.
So that's a bit kind of stressful. And then I could continue. And then I had 2 other interviews asking me if I want to do SAP or Oracle. I saw SAP in many more job advertising, so I took SAP. So it was completely random how I started in consulting.
Yes. That's an amazing journey. Really. Yes. So Burundi, Belgium, Canada now, right?
Yes.
So I believe a lot of people would love to know what you do now in Canada, and what are your aspirations. I think you mentioned something last time that you would like to shift a little bit.
Yeah. So when I left from Belgium to Canada, it was more to. I was thinking of staying 2 years in Montreal. I had visited Montreal in the summer. I really loved it, and I said, okay, let's try to live there 2 years and then come back. But then many things just kept me staying in Montreal, and now I'm here. I'm there since almost 8 years now.
How do you like Montreal?
I really love it.
Is it cold?
The winter, yeah, it's cold. But it's not cold the whole year. It's more that maybe the length of the winter can be too much for me, but it's still it has a lot of charm because you really have 2 big seasons, the winter and the summer.
Yes.
The in between is short. The fall and spring is pretty short, but you really live both seasons. Now with COVID, of course, you don't really live them, but you are outside. You're outside in the summer, to enjoy festivals, to walk, etc. And then in the winter, you can go outside to ski. There are also other festivals in the winter.
Wonderful. That's great.
Yeah. So there is a great. I like it here because there is a great quality of life. I think it is safe. You can live well. It has a bilingual charm, French, English. So I really like it.
Yes.
Really like it.
And it's a country of immigrants. So
Yes.
there's a lot of diversity out there.
Yes, huge diversity.
Canada, I love its nature, and I love really that fact about Canada, that it's full of diversity. Yes.
Indeed. And yes, indeed, as you said, you're talking about a possible kind of transition that's more the now, like in 2021, where you're talking about personal branding, and I think that's important. Is being often solopreneurs will think about doing personal branding, but even if you progress from maybe solopreneur to try to have a small team with you, it's still important to do personal branding because you're still providing services.
Yes.
So it is more like what I am in the process of doing is offering those I call it digital transformation services. Basically, for you, it's the marketing aspect, for example. But a company that has its operations that are done in a way, maybe they do they manage their sales, they manage their accounting, they manage the manufacturing through Excel or other files, and you try to digitize it, basically to have it in a business management software or a customer relationship management software.
Yes. To automate, basically, yes. I understand. I believe there are a lot of companies which are in need for that, and especially nowadays because everything was. The whole process was speeded up. We actually went through the process that should have lasted for 5 years when it comes to the digital transformation, and it all went together within 1 year. Like that was you could really say digital reset. Yes. What happened into 2020. I mean, from the very beginning of COVID-19 appearing. So everything was speeded up. Like there is a very high need for a lot of other businesses who are still in this process and who actually don't know much about how to go online from traditional market to the online market, how to shift that. And they really need help with that, for sure.
Yeah, it has accelerated it, and maybe it has also opened up the eyes for some people, because up until last year, I was still hearing, for example, for implementation project, like a business software implementation project, I would still hear, I need to see you to be sure that you're working. We absolutely need to be in the office in order to progress. And now people start to realize, actually the project is not going slower because we are doing it remotely.
Exactly. Yeah.
So maybe we don't need those huge offices. Maybe people don't need to take the car and go in the traffic jam.
Exactly. It saves a lot of time, that's for sure. Yes, and it keeps us safe during the COVID-19. So
yes, and
for those who have the privilege actually to work remotely or from home.
And how do you see? I ask the question as a conversation, not as a, like, I don't put you as an expert, but how do you see maybe the progress of putting up a company culture? When you have a team and you have people. So sometimes you will meet maybe twice a week or once a week, or it's just a team that meets, and some people maybe never ever will meet. I mean, building a company culture digitally, it can be something, I think.
So as I've been a solopreneur, I didn't really have a team of people except of virtual assistants from time to time. So I cannot really relate too much about it, but I can really imagine what they are going through, and there must be a part of the individual responsibility involved in that. So every company has its, company culture, but I don't really think in reality it is being respected and implemented. Like they don't really, like from one side there is a personal individual responsibility from each member of the team. So this could be an issue, and from the other side could be also on the company's level, because the company should not just bring this policy and then forget about it. They should take care of it and make sure that it is being implemented. So I believe in many cases the company's cultures are really wonderfully created, but in reality, they are not being implemented.
And that's already when they are together in the office. So it's difficult. It's already difficult. Can be even more difficult. Is it? And for you, since March, so March of last year, have you had? Did you start to have more inquiries or different types of inquiries about a personal branding or about doing digital marketing?
Yeah, well, so I've started as a small business mentor, but I've shifted towards personal branding because, and I believe many people can relate to that, many business owners. And as a marketeer, I'm very much aware of the importance of having a niche. So serving only, one type of clientele, and also it's very good if you specialize or focus on providing one type of services, because when it comes to digital marketing, it's really a wide field of work. First of all, I mean, digital marketing is a part of marketing. There is traditional and there is digital marketing. And then within digital marketing, there are so many fields. So, it's impossible for one person to know it all. I mean, we can have the overall knowledge, but we cannot be that good in all of these parts of, like, you can be an SEO expert, but you're not an expert for social media. You can be an email marketing expert, but you're not expert. Or you may be good in these 2-3 fields, but you don't know the fourth one. So what I would really suggest for, it's for everybody, to choose the niche and to try to be very good at it. And once I shifted, honestly, and I've chosen personal branding because this is the journey that I went through as a small business owner, as a consultant, as an online business, and I believe I can help others go through the same journey, but leveraging my knowledge and my experience, so that they don't really need to waste time on some, things, products or services or social media platforms that don't really serve them. Any of us, we can speed up our progress once we there are a few things that are really crucial for our success, and one of those things is having a guidance or copy pasting somebody else's success, and collaboration. So having a support team in place, or collaborating with other professionals, other individuals, or other companies, having a team, but mainly when it comes to service providers, if they are solopreneurs, They don't have the budget for the team, or they have a VA, things like that. So
yeah, I know that reality.
yes. I mean, I'm just being realistic. And there's one other thing that I would really love to mention. I mean, there are some digital marketing trends. We are, all of us, we're aware of, constant changes, and we need to adapt to it. And it's really challenging for, I would say, the IT field and marketing field. By that, I mean digital marketing, are the two fields that are changing constantly, and you could say on a daily basis. So it's really challenging to cope with it, even for the marketeers. I mean, you need to be in constant learning process. So, and even if you are like that, it's time consuming, but even if you are like that, you'll still miss some things. So again, we go back to the focus. So if we have a focus and we focus on one thing, then we have better chances to succeed. But I wanted to mention influencer marketing. So I've mentioned organic marketing on LinkedIn, which is really of the highest reach nowadays, and I would really love to invite service providers to research on it a little bit and start creating content, because on other social media platforms they would need to pay for it. I mean, for the reach that they can get for the content they create on LinkedIn, on other social media platforms, they would need to pay for that. And this is not something that is going to last forever. So they are above 700 million users on LinkedIn, and only 1% of content creators. So there is still a very high chance of, I mean, there is a space for everybody. And the way I see, even if you can say competitors from the same field doing the very same thing or calling themselves the very same name, I don't really see them as competitors. I see them as people from whom I can learn a lot.
True.
I see everybody. I see all of my clients as people from whom I can learn a lot. I mean, okay, I can share my experience, my knowledge, my skills with them. I can guide them because they are, in most of the cases, they are not from the field of marketing, so they don't know. But they are experts in their own respective fields of work. And when I'm in the process of sharing my knowledge and expertise, I'm also learning from them about their industries. Yes.
Yeah. What you say is very important. I will also thank again Nadia. She made a couple of very. So first, she says that she is humbled by our life journey. So
thank you, Nadia. She's wonderful, and she is one of the content creators. And I strongly encourage LinkedIn users to connect with Nadia.
Exactly.
And can really benefit from her valuable content, because at the end of the day, the whole point of creating content on LinkedIn and in general, social media should be providing value for other users of the platform. And she's definitely one of them.
True. And yeah, she also said that when we were talking about companies, the change for companies, she said that yeah, some companies are still in the transition phase. So that's true. There is I cannot see the name of the person, but one LinkedIn user spoke with Dr. Eric Zabigalski, whose book is based in the need for learning versus knowing everything as a continuous process. Now more than ever. Yeah, so basically the LinkedIn user is confirming the fact that yes, we need to learning continuously. And that's where the point that I wanted to make is you did not mention it, but what you just said when you said that there is room for a lot of content for all content creator, and that's also what Nadia also confirmed, is what I call the abundance mindset, because having an abundance mindset means there is always a blue ocean somewhere. Whatever niche I want to go or whatever service that I want to offer, there is someone or a group of people or group of companies that I can serve. And when only 1% of LinkedIn users are creating content, of course there is a huge room, of course, for improvement. And it's great that you see it like that.
Yes, and once I landed on LinkedIn as a new platform, when I started using LinkedIn, the new LinkedIn, let's call it like that, I was also learning from many other content creators who were already there for some time. So I can totally relate to people who are new to the platform and who find any value that we share valuable. Just like I was finding it valuable when somebody else was sharing it. And this was the way that we met each other on LinkedIn as well. And you found some of my content valuable, and I'm glad for that. But I just want to share that I was also one of those people who were learning, and I'm still learning from others and from their content. So this is really one of the wonderful things about LinkedIn, that we can share value in our content and people can benefit from that.
Yeah, excellent. And also you said, because you started with the hashtag YourBizMentor, now that you're more come from digital marketing to more like personal branding, did you change? Did you use a new hashtag, or have you changed your hashtag? If people want to follow.
No, I haven't changed it. It's the name of my company, and my hashtag is YourBizMentor as well. And it's still, when in the very beginning, I was helping companies, I was helping business professionals and consultants. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm just more focused. I'm just more focused, and I'm trying to get them closer to the personal branding, because it is still something very new. People are not aware of the power of personal branding, and it's getting more and more popular. And one of the major digital marketing trends in 2021 and beyond, for sure, will be influencer marketing. But when we are talking about influencer marketing, it's closely related to personal branding.
Can you give like an explanation of what is influencer marketing? Is it a company that call influencer, or is it a company that try to become an influencer? Can you just give a brief?
So when it comes to the I would say let's make it. Let's just give a brief explanation. So there is usually there are three parties involved. So there is like a company from one side, there is an influencer, and there is a buyer or a customer. So usually, and nowadays more and more, companies, large companies, medium companies, and even small companies are becoming more and more aware of it, are engaging influencers as a kind of mediator to reach their targeted audience. So this is especially relevant for those companies that don't already have, like, for example, a startup company who doesn't have already built audience on social media, but they want to promote their services. But the thing is that this whole process is a win-win situation for all three parties, but only if it's done right. And usually it's done right, because what really influencer marketing is actually the old-fashioned word of mouth. And we all know that word of mouth is the most powerful type of marketing. So it's unpaid marketing. It's basically referral. And somebody says good thing about you, about your service. So it's a video testimonial, it's written testimonial, it's reviews on Google page. But it's also when an influencer, and it's powerful, when influencer recommends product or service. But now everything should be, and it is transparent. And those influencers who are looking at it as in the way that it's something, you know, they would get short-term benefit, like money from the company, and they would recommend some product or service which is not good for the customer or end user. This is a short-term strategy, and I don't think that many influencers are using it at all. Most probably they cannot even call themselves influencers if they're doing that. But what I really believe is that influencers, really very good established influencers, with a strong personal brand, because there is no influencer without personal brand, you know. They have their audience, they have their followers who trust them, so they have the credibility. And based on that, they recommend a product or service to their followers. Yep. But they care about their followers. So they will not recommend a bad product or service because everything is transparent nowadays. If the end user tries that product or service and it turns out to be a bad one, then, you know, everybody can complain and they can do it online. So the other people can know about it. Mm-hmm. So, the way I see it, influencers are the people with a strong personal brand, and they have the credibility, people trust them, and they can help both companies and they can help end users. Because when it comes to the end users, customers, clients, when they want to buy some product or service, especially nowadays, they do their research. And if the product or service is more expensive, they do, you know, the rough research. So in that way, also influencers can help because they can reduce the time necessary for research. If you go, for example, on YouTube and see some influencers suggesting some service, they usually do the rough research, both on the product or service that they are recommending and on the competitors' products or services, so that, you know, it makes it easier for their audience to choose.
Yeah, it's becoming an influencer economy. So we are really having a great time now. It's like we have more than 50 minutes since we talk, approximately. And there's just one thing. If someone wants to start to create content, develop her or his personal brand on LinkedIn, do you have any advice of where or how they could start? If you meet someone and that person tells you, oh, but I don't know what to say, I don't know what I could talk about, I don't know how I will show up.
Yes. So it's very, very crucial to put yourself out there. So what does that mean? That means, you know, simply to increase your visibility, your own personal visibility, so that people and your potential clients see you. So first they need to know who you are, they need to know about you, and then they might, once they know you, they might like you, and then there is a trust factor. They'll trust you, but, you know, it's a process. But the very first thing is for them to get to know you. You need to put yourself out there. So all of us, we already have a personal brand. As long as we have any type of social media presence, any type of social media account, people already know about us. And especially if we are solopreneurs, if we are business owners, we already have a personal brand. People already, you know, people already have their opinion about us. So when it is like that, then why we shouldn't manage it? Because it's manageable. We can manage our personal brand and we can direct it in the right direction. So what I would suggest, so now I'm talking about service-oriented professionals, I would definitely suggest them to start using LinkedIn and to start leveraging this organic marketing, unpaid marketing on LinkedIn through the content. So now when it comes to the content, it's the best one. The best is to choose the type of content that they feel comfortable producing. Like, it could be text posts, it could be writing articles, but it could be also creating videos. So I started my own journey by creating videos. Now, I understand that it's the most uncomfortable thing to do. And it really, it takes you out of your comfort zone. So when I first started, like almost 2 years ago, when I came on LinkedIn, I could see that a lot of things changed, and I could see that video marketing, video content was really booming, and it still is. But at that time especially, and there was some kind of challenge, something like 30-day video content or something like that. Yeah. So I said, okay, I need to do it. And at that time, I just established my company. I mean, nobody knows about me, so I need to either pay for promoting my services and my company, and I'm very small. I just started, or I need to start producing my own content so that people know who am I and what do I do and what's my company called and things like that. So I started doing that, and I'm perfectly aware that, you know, first it takes courage to do that. It is not that you don't feel the fear. It is about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. So it is uncomfortable. You feel the fear. You need the guidance, you need support, especially in the very beginning, because, you know, you take time, you produce content, you face your fears and everything. You post this video and then you get like 1-2 likes or something, you know.
Yeah, so, and Loni is saying that she remember how you took a challenge and you forced yourself to do those 30 videos. So, that's good. Yeah,
so it is about commitment. It is about consistency. So 30 days, that means you cannot miss any of those days. So it must be every single day, no matter how you feel, or no matter whether you feel you should be produced. So as I remember, I was actually shooting like when I felt like, okay, I have an inspiration. Today I'll shoot like a couple of videos, and then I use those videos to post them when I don't really feel good about it, because we all face ups and downs in our moods and in our inspiration, and whether we are motivated enough, especially when it comes to business owners. I mean, whether we want to admit that or not, this is the process that we all go through. Yeah, so after I completed those 30 days of video challenge, I've made actually an article. I created an article where I shared my experience. It's still on my LinkedIn profile. And I also created a course based on my experience in the first 6 months of my presence on LinkedIn. And how I built my audience from less than 500 to 6,000 connections in, I don't know, something like 5 months period of time. But it was without any special support, and it was like learning by myself more about the platform and putting myself out there. So, and when I was doing that, I really felt like, as I was learning, I felt from others. I felt like Oh, okay. Wow. I learned this. This is exciting. I felt like I want to share that with others who don't know.
Yeah.
So that's when I realized I should really, do something about it, like record it or shoot a course or something like that. And I did that. So I do have a course which is currently on my website. And this course basically explains my journey. I actually recorded what was going on from this period within this period of 6 months, of my first 6 months. So I guess people who are just starting, once they land on this course, they can relate, to, yeah, and they can see in the screen that I had, let's say, 1,000 followers or connections, or 2,000, or
Yep.
So this could be also an encouragement for them. And this course, by the way, so because I'm serving businesses and business professionals, consultants, I'm oriented to the business community, not to the job seekers. But if job seekers can benefit from this course, and I believe they can, this course is for free, and this is my open invitation for any of those job seekers who is interested in this course, just to DM me, and I will provide them with the code, with the access to this course, so that they can benefit. At least they will learn, which is beneficial for them, how to create an all-star LinkedIn profile, that's for sure. And for job seekers, it's also relevant to have a strong personal brand, because, for example, if it depends on the industry where they are in, but especially if they are sales professional, any type of industry, and especially if it's B2B oriented, cold calling doesn't really work, and sales pitching in the first message doesn't work. So we have already shifted towards social selling. And you cannot just send a message to the person that you're not connected, or you just connected with the person and you are sending the first message like, okay, my name is John, work for this company, and I'm providing, I don't know, some kind of service, and that will make you buy. No, so your potential customer will go on your profile and see how credible you are.
Yeah.
You will have more credibility if you work for a recognizable company. But even it's not just that. They will go through your quickly go through your profile and through your summary and your last experiences, and whether you have endorsements, recommendations, and this will all determine whether they will do business with you. So it's relevant for them as well.
Yeah, I agree. I keep receiving anyway. I keep receiving sales pitches from people that I don't know, but for sure it's really needed. So I think it would be a great way to wrap up, because you mentioned that course that you have, and people can DM you for that. I have put,
for the job seekers is for free.
Okay, yeah. So,
in general, the course is on my website, so anybody who's interested in if they are just starting out on LinkedIn, and if they want to leverage LinkedIn for creating content, for building a personal brand, for creating an all-star LinkedIn profile, if they want to gain more visibility, more credibility, if they want to build their personal brand and increase brand awareness in general, then it's good for them. And
perfect.
It still leads us to the credibility. That's the main goal, because nobody will buy from us if we are not credible enough. So
It's true. It's true. We function like that now completely. And there are so many gems that you said. So we shared a bit about your story. So a bit of Europe, a bit of North Africa, in Egypt, and now you live in Kentucky. And starting by yourself on LinkedIn and putting yourself into that challenge of putting 30 videos. Whatever your mood, whatever your energy, you did them, and it has provided you quite some results, because in 5 months you went from about 500 to 6,000, and now I think you have at least double 6,000 of the 6,000 followers. So that's great. That's very inspiring. Also, your website is still yourbizmentor.com, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to comment that right now. And I do think that it's very important when we talk about personal branding. We are really going into an influencer economy, so it starts to be very important to be that person, to be that intermediate between the product and the service and the users or customers. So I think it is important. So yeah, thank you very much, Alisa. I do think that it was a live in which people that are still hesitating or people that are active on LinkedIn can learn a lot. So
thank you so much. Thank you. And I remember engaging on your posts as well, and I strongly believe people can learn a lot from you. And I strongly recommend your services as well. And it was really great chance for LinkedIn community to learn more about both of us. And I encourage them also to do the same thing, because people love to learn more about you. And the part of personal branding is also sharing your personal story. So share at least something about yourself. It is a business community, but people will relate to you more easily if you share something about your personal life as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm going to be more open on personal life. I did it today, and I'm going to be more open now. And thanks again as well to all the people that have participated and watched the live. So Nadia, a huge thank you. Loni, a huge thank you as well. Simon as well.
There, I couldn't actually see who was there, but big thank you to Loni as well. And she is from Tennessee, from Knoxville, as I remember. Wonderful person, and she's really amazing. I strongly suggest everybody to connect with her. They can learn a lot from her.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do that. So thank you very much. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Eugene. Thank you.
Thank you.